Welcome to Destination Mole, where the destination is just the beginning. 12 agents are about to set out on an epic adventure, one that they could only think of in their wildest dreams. Here at Destination Mole, we're going to test our agents both mentally, physically, and emotionally as they spend the next 6 days in a house together, where one amongst them is a saboteur. Who that might be? Well, they'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's watch our cast of Season 1. And if you think that this is something that you want to try, make sure to check out our applications, which are now open for Season 2. What makes Destination Mole unique? Each season, we will be traveling to a different destination, bringing the game with us on the road. So what are you waiting for? Apply today, and we hope to see you on Season 2.
Now we get to play mission. So, Michigan is full of rich history. So you will be looking to find some of that history today. Hidden on the property are 8 riddle boxes. They are all outside. You will need to locate these riddles, solve the clues, and bring back the artifacts. Runners, you will be called the excavators for this mission. You must stay in your entire group of 4 the entire time. You will find 1 clue at a time. Once you find a clue, you will relay the clue via walkie-talkie to the riddle solvers. You riddle solvers, you will be known as the historians. You will be stationed up here. Historians, you will then need to solve the riddle. Once you solve that riddle, you will submit your answer to Tom, who will be up there with you. If you are correct, Tom will give you an envelope with information to relay to my curators, also known as the shoppers. You will be stationed downstairs in the basement. The curators, you will then select an artifact that best describes the information relayed from the historians and bring it back to the museum. We will show you where to lock in your answers. You will be given 40 minutes for this challenge. You gotta solve the riddles, locate the artifact. There are 8 artifacts in total. Each correct artifact is worth $2. Therefore, each artifact will add $2 to the player's pot for a total of 16. However, each artifact that is not brought back or is incorrect will be added to the mole pot. So, to be clear, you get 1 artifact, and that's correct, and that's it. $2 to player pot, 14 to the mole pot.
Oh, the mole has a separate pot for the mole?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
So whatever the players don't win, the mole wins.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, personally, off of that, scooping off the top, taking. Oh, got it.
Yeah, that's why that's why they
sabotage.
I mean,
so now we're
I
opening
knew
for
that.
questions. Just raise your hand so we don't all talk at the same time if anyone has questions.
What do you call them again? They're
Excavators.
the
So-
excavators?
When we get information
Or the dares.
about the answer to the riddle,
We're not getting dirty.
we have
So
to.
they have a walkie up there, and you have a walkie
But
down
you
there.
said we have to pick an artifact that matches the answer. Are the artifacts hidden, or are they in plain
There's
sight?
you will see.
These
Okay.
are on these are on plain sight, right? Like,
No, you will not have to dig and rip anything open or anything like that.
destroy.
Correct. There should be no destroying.
Are the other 2 teams all inside?
Yeah.
And we're
Historians are
upstairs.
up there with Tom. Curators are downstairs with me. And then runners, you will be outside with Matt.
Historians.
We're the historians.
Can they do they not are they not able to move on until we answer until we
So
have
they
an
can only
artifact?
do one riddle at a time. So there is a possibility that you guys don't even play.
Oh.
There
Because
is?
if they can't get their job done,
Hey, guys, we got one. Can you hear me? Number 3. What gets broken without being held?
My clue would be
Heart, maybe.
Did you have a clue? They did say we couldn't give them a clue. Right. Oh, okay, you guys want to go that way?
Well, no, we can go back there. How far do we want to go? Let's go to the wall. Okay.
What gets broken without being held?
Without being what?
What gets broken? Copy, give us a second. What gets broken without being held? Rules.
But it's, they do, you don't have to hold them, you can break them.
Your heart maybe?
Heart.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Heart's one.
Can we like go to 3 and
Yeah,
give
tell
them
them.
some suggestions about what might
No,
be down
because don't we have to?
We have to turn it into Tom.
Right.
there? Oh.
I have help.
So what gets broken, so yeah, heart. I think it's gonna be heart.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Okay.
alright, we want to say heart.
For which number?
3.
No.
So
Okay.
we get to get again? Guess again?
You guys have 40 minutes?
Rules.
No.
Get broken without being held. Broken without being held.
Phone.
No.
There's no penalty for guessing wrong, right? Okay.
Broken. No, I mean, I don't really have to do it. I think it's like at least take 5
We
minutes.
got 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's broken without being held.
Trust.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
Break
And we gotta think, they have to find it downstairs. It's gonna be something.
a. Oh, I know. Is it a contract or something?
Cause they're gonna have to have something like that down there.
Yeah,
So
the
it's fine.
trust is like hard to.
Yeah, so you gotta think with something like
Physical
a
fact.
physical item.
Yeah.
Um,
Mirror?
Brain mirror.
It's a physical thing.
our soul.
Okay, you got it?
No.
No, we haven't figured it
Can
out
they
yet.
help us?
We've taken some guesses, but.
Can we
we're
ask
ready.
them? Do they have any ideas?
Do you, I think we can ask, or we're being told we, yeah. Do you guys have any ideas, any guesses what it could be?
Promise, heart.
We already guessed the heart.
Promise.
Promise?
Oh, okay.
Yes, we just got it.
Okay.
What do I do with it? Oh, God, okay.
Oh, then we describe this item.
Gonna
Oh,
relay it to
that's
number
the
3 now.
lesson.
What's that?
We're gonna relate, switch channels and relay it to the other team now.
Plastic hopper.
Okay, so it isn't have to be down there.
Okay.
Hey guys, you copy?
Copy.
Alright, we solved the first riddle
It's
and we
number
have the
3.
envelope. Number 3 was the clue.
Blue plastic hopper.
And your guys' clue is blue plastic hopper.
Yeah, that's
I
what
can
was
tell.
thinking.
I can already tell.
Ask them if they copy.
Do you guys copy?
Blue plastic hopper, got it.
Say they got it or?
Like 10
Oh, they got it. Yeah, we need that.
What's that?
So, yeah, just try it right now.
Hey, guys, are you ready for another clue? All right, they're on the other channel. That's all. What's that red number? We were walking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just stuff it in the car so you guys get out. It's not a problem. got it. Okay. Number 7. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?
What's the other one? The clock one?
Let's see what they do.
I told him this one.
So we gotta wait till they figure that out.
I can be
Until they
cracked,
submit the artifacts, right?
made, M-A-D-E, told, T-O-L-D, and played. What am I?
How about we have guys talk later? Alright, so can we keep the solved ones separate from the unsolved ones?
No need. Did you use one?
No, I didn't do that. This is the one
This
we
is
did
number
next.
5.
Where's number 3? Where's the first one we did?
Did you have 3?
No, I just had.
No, we put 3 back. Remember?
Oh, we dropped it?
No. We remember we didn't like.
Oh, we didn't keep it?
Yeah.
Oh, because so
how
what was
many-
the first one?
Yeah.
Well, how many do we have?
So,
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see.
so we gave this one. Have we read this one? Yes. We haven't read this one. So
Alright, well-
I'll hold the ungiven ones.
Where's the solved?
Hey guys, you ready?
We solved 2.
Solved them like in the box.
Yeah, solved in the box.
We solved more than 1.
So 3
Three.
is still in the box.
still in the box.
You can run and grab it. So what number is
Don't let
this?
him grab it. No, stay here.
So 1, 3.
What number?
Clock.
What number was that? What number was that? Hey guys, do you copy? What number was that?
Excuse me, Mr. Mole. Is it okay if we just say
No,
clock?
we have to tell them the number.
We have to
Hey,
tell him the number because he has to hand it to us. But
do it again. Hey guys, are y'all listening to us? Make sure we're
he
doing the right
changed.
thing.
Are we on the right thing?
2, 1.
Someone probably changed the
Hello?
channel by accident or something, or turned it down.
All right, well let's just start doing numbers. There's 8 of them. Is it?
I cannot talk, but this is the last one I found. I cannot talk, but I always reply when spoken to. What am I?
Wait, I cannot talk, but I always reply. God? Religion? Like praying? Wait, no. What is always
The future.
That's future. I cannot talk. No, I don't know. You cannot talk, but you always reply. You're conscious. I don't know. Like you're thinking,
Or like your reflection.
or that. I don't know. I cannot talk, but I always reply when spoken to.
A dog.
No, an echo. An echo.
Wait, I cannot talk, but that's talking though. Oh, I guess you're not.
It's replying.
Yeah.
I think it's an echo.
Makes it has no need of it. Advise it has no use for it. He uses it. It can neither see nor feel it.
Alright guys, we got that one. Next clue.
Number 6.
Number 6. What is always in front of you but can't be seen? We think it's the future.
So I was the Riddlers. I don't remember what we called ourselves because there were the curators. They were at the bottom. We did the Riddlers. I can't remember. And then the top, they were the finders. I'll have it later. So I was in the one you had to solve the riddles. I felt really good about our team actually, but I don't know if it's because we were so close together. If the mole was there, they couldn't. It was going to be really hard not to do it because we could ask other members. You know, we could ask the other teams for help on our clues and stuff. So it was going to be really hard to not get all of those. And so so they could be there because I have a little bit of sus on. There's a couple people I have a sus on. So I have a little bit of sus on Chad. I have a little bit of sus on Chad, Corey, and Drew right now. Who are my susses. Not sure how I feel about it. But we did really good. I thought we got all but one clue. And it was hard. So I don't blame that curators for that at all. So if there's a mole down there, they got everything. So the first challenge didn't help us at all. Figuring it out, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the first challenge was the Great Michigan Race, and I was part of the team that did the riddles. I was kind of selected there by the runners who went before me, which was fine by me. If I had a choice, I think that's probably where I would have wanted to go. I thought I would do a little bit better in terms of answering the riddles, but fortunately I kind of just got thrust in a role of communicating over the walkie-talkies and kind of facilitating that, which I think I did a good job of.
The team I was on, it was the running team with Corey, Drew, and John. And yeah, we seemed to, for the most part, successfully complete our challenge. I know there were a couple times where I had seen some of the boxes, and I was curious if any of the other guys had noticed them, and sometimes they walked by it a little bit, and so I just would pick it up and just reveal it to them and everything. So that was interesting, but I don't think it was really anything suspicious in any way. And yeah, so we just sort of spent the time finding the boxes and then trying to help out the team. And so there might have been a little mishap with the walkie-talkie. Drew was the one who was holding on to it the whole time. But yeah, it's hard to tell right now, but I don't think there was really anything sabotaging or so from that.
On the, what was it called? It was the riddle makers. So I think it was the historians. I had Kim, Chad, and Jesse with me. I felt pretty good. I didn't feel any like suspicious activity, although there was a couple moments where walkie-talkies from the running team was going through to ours. So I mean, I feel like that could be sabotage on Chad's side or even the runner side, because they were trying to waste time. But I don't really think there was much going on with that. We did a pretty good job. In the end, I kind of felt like Wendy and Nick were kind of like a little suspicious because they tried to switch one of our answers, which would have been a wrong answer after we got all but one wrong.
I was on a team with Nick and Wendy, and that went really smooth. We did have a few hiccups where we weren't sure on two of the answers. I felt really confident in one of the answers, along with, and Missy was on our team too, and I felt real confident with one of the answers. Me and Missy were, and Wendy was trying to change one of the answers, but I went into that challenge after reviewing some of my notes last night, wondering if Wendy might be a little suspicious. So I was really watching her in the first challenge, and she kept trying to change one of the answers, and I was just bound and determined that I was not changing that answer for her because I was suspicious of her. So I was just dead set that I wasn't letting her change the answer, and luckily it turned out that I was right. So I felt really good that was a win. But overall, I think we really performed well together. And I felt like that challenge went really smooth for us because we did take home 7 points out of 8. So I felt like that challenge went really smooth for us. And there was a few hiccups on the first team that was in that challenge. So there's a little suspicion going on there with Drew, which I wasn't really suspicious of him before. So now I'm kind of looking at him, side-eyeing him today. But other than that, I think that challenge went really well.
First challenge was the Michigan race, and I was a runner with John and Corey. Yeah, John and Corey. And so we worked really well together. You know, we ran around and found all these boxes, and there were clues in them, and we had to relay those one by one to the next team. We had to figure out they were riddles. And so we found them in short order. We had 40 minutes to do it. We found them all in probably 15, and we actually were able to help them with answering some of the riddles. It worked great together. We weren't sure why the team that we were communicating with sometimes didn't seem to be responsive to us. They didn't seem to answer as quickly as we thought they should. I would be checking in for updates and they wouldn't be responding. I was handling the walkie-talkie, and so we're not sure if maybe there was a little mole play going on there. Could have been. We don't know.
Yeah, on the first challenge, I was a shopper, so I was in the house and waiting for the results of the riddles. the answers, and then based on that, we had to find something in the room that matched that and place it in a spot. And my team did really well. There were 4 of us. It was me, Dawn, Jesse, and Wendy. And yeah, we did really well. We got 7 out of 8, so about $14 for the pot, which is great. And I don't know, it just clicked. Everyone participated, everyone contributed. I don't think anyone was necessarily trying to sabotage, at least, overtly. It really, it kind of depended on us for the money, and I feel like we delivered, so I was pretty proud of us.
First mission, we were asked who would be a good runner, and as a consensus of the team, I think I was clocked pretty immediately to be that good or well runner, so I wasn't surprised by it that anyone was going to choose me. Drew did speak up about it, but he had a bum knee, and also he's older, so I knew immediately that they're going to choose me. I didn't think it was actually going to be running, because these things always have a play on words, so I was selected, and then they had me choose individuals who were good at riddles, and then good who were curators for art. I think it was curated for art, I think. But, so yeah, I had to pick all the teams. Honestly, not having a really good background, I just chose people who I thought could actually run. So that wasn't tough. And then from there, I just picked people based on what I thought they could do, solve riddles. So easily Kim, I think she's a strong person, a strong agent, and a person I could probably work with who could help build the pot. So I definitely wanted her on that. And then I guess everyone else just bundled to the end. So it was easy to choose everything. During the mission, our team found all of the containers pretty quickly. It wasn't hard. So we found all the containers. The trouble, I can't solve any riddles or brain teasers like that, so I wasn't any help. I did throw things out there, but it was mostly John and Drew who were able to do that. And then from there, we did have some radio issues, which was a big, large topic of conversation. So I noticed that when Drew was holding the walkie-talkie, it was very faint, so I told him to turn the volume up, but this was like halfway through it, so I don't know if that was a mole action or anything. So a lot of people did talk about that. Our team outside had some walkie-talkie issues, so that is throwing a lot of suspicion on Drew. So, and granted, he kind of is at top of the suspect list for me as well, but yeah, it was very interesting. But we did, and were able to secure $14 of the $16 at the end. So I would say overall the mission was a success. There was some hiccups again with the walkie-talkies, and at the end with Wendy wanting to choose a car or a camper or something for the end of the mission. But other than that, it was good to go.
So the first challenge, I was on the riddle solving team, which was the historians. So the guys outside would go run around and find riddles. They would give them to us, and then we would provide them to the shopping team in the basement. I felt my team all did a pretty good job. Chad was on the walkie-talkie. I felt like he was pretty competent there. I felt like everyone we did a pretty good job solving the riddles. I didn't feel like anyone was intentionally trying to sabotage, or it might have been a difficult thing to sabotage from that perspective. So I didn't really gather anything there. There was a little bit of weirdness outside with the one team where they were a little slow to respond, but I don't want to look too far into it. Downstairs, they seemed pretty receptive to us, so it went well. I didn't notice any overt sabotage or anything.
Yeah, so the first challenge, we divided up into 3 groups. We had the runners. I was part of the runner challenge. Then we had the riddle solvers, and then we had the object pickers. So the runners, we were running around outside looking for clues. The clues came in the form of these little Tupperware boxes, and inside was a paper riddle. What we did was we had to find 8 different boxes, radio in each riddle, and then the people on the riddle solving team would correlate the answer. Well, first they had to come up with the answer, get a thumbs up, then find the set of clues that match that answer, and send it to the third team. So in the runner group, I feel like we had a good set. 4 guys. It was me, Drew, Matt, and Corey, and we were all outside, staying together, hunting down clue boxes. There wasn't too much sabotage in our group, but right now this is game 1. I feel like the mole's not going to make it too apparent. Matt walked right by a box. didn't see it, didn't say anything. I turned around 20 feet away and I was like, Matt, what's behind you? So he did that maybe to throw me off his trail a little bit. Throw me on his trail. He might be the mole, he might not be the mole. I don't think that's the mole. The rest of the team, it sounds like everything went pretty smooth. The final challenge, we had 8 clues all solved. We got all the riddles done. They had to pick 8 objects. We got 7 out of 8 objects. You know, that's like 88%. That's pretty high percentage. I don't think the last clue we missed was due to the mole.
The first challenge was really cool. We were divided up into these teams, and I ended up with Wendy, Nick, and Dawn. And we had to, we were the third final piece of the puzzle for this challenge. So locking in the correct answers was essential in communicating with the riddle people. Almost as soon as we walked down the stairs, and into the little space where we were told the challenge would be taking place, I did see something slipping out of one of the clay pots. So I was really excited to find this exemption right off the bat because I was very nervous going into the first thing. So I was like, no, the first one's not gonna be me, it's not gonna be me. And doing the first challenge definitely raised a red flag for me in terms of Nick. Nick wanted to swap out some pretty obvious artifacts for options that were not as ideal. A ruby red car for a silver red trimmed trailer, all in the, like, because it's like not ruby red enough. And he communicated to me the incorrect clue from the riddle from Team 2, saying that it was a ruby red fast flyer. Didn't say on wheels, fast flyer, so that he could put the cardinal in there. He tried to put like 3 different things in that spot. Very weird, but it could be a put on. Dawn was expressing to me that she was concerned about how Wendy was acting in the challenge. I'm not. I think Wendy's gonna Wendy, and I'm gonna let Wendy Wendy. That's great. I adore her, and if she is distracting people from having important conversations, that's fine.
All right, so we did the race, and I was a shopper. I was on the red team with Missy, Dawn, and Nick. So that was.
How was that? What are some things that you had to do?
So it was a radio thing where they would send us a clue, and then we would have to find the artifact in the room. And there's a lot of stuff in there for us to go through. I think mostly our team gelled. There were 2 items that we were kind of like unsure about, but we figured it out, and I think we did really good together as a team.
So we're jumping right back in. Welcome to mission 2. It's called the Great Escape. So we're going to draw teams before we get into the mission, and the teams are going to be drawn out of my bag of tricks. It will be 4 teams of 3. And since Nick wants to be so close to me, come on up. And then when you get your team, you're going to stand up here. All right.
Got you. Look on the back.
Oh.
It's already been gotten.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, you're on team red. You want to go on this side?
Oh, okay.
There's 4 though?
What did Jesse pick?
Blue.
Yeah, so they're in there filling for the thickens.
Yeah, they're probably bad. It's probably like a -1.
Green? Alright, you wanna stand over there? Alright.
One on each team. Yep, one on each team.
Crashing against the cliffs. You fight your way forward against the gusting winds. An old lighthouse seems to be your last hope. Lonely and abandoned, it stands as the highest point of the shore. Its light guiding ships past a rock. Suddenly the beam of light goes out. Now it's just you who are in danger. You see an approaching ship about to smash itself against the cliffs. You gather your last remaining strength to run to the lighthouse, but the door is barred, and your loud knocking goes unanswered. How can that be? You look frantically around. Along the path down below, you see an old wooden crate. It also happens to be secured with a white lock. This is a lot. On its side, you see the letters A, B, and C written big, bold letters. Right next to it, half hidden in some old fish nets, you see several strange discs of different sizes, along with some kind of instruction manual, riddles within riddles. What is going on here? Only if you can manage to solve all the riddles together will you be able to reach the top of the lighthouse and activate its light in time. Otherwise, the ship will surely smash against the rocks and sink beneath the foaming waves. So what are you waiting for? Gather your wits and read through the rule book. Assemble the decoder disc. Open the puzzle bag holding the pieces with grayish blue backs and no design on the back.
What was that last part?
Open the puzzle bag holding the pieces with grayish blue backs and no design on the back.
Grayish blue?
No
design. This is grayish blue.
Then start your timer and assemble the first puzzle. But we can put it so there we wish I'd read through the rule book.
Okay, there's a design on here.
There's a design on this one. Game is 4 puzzle bags with 88 pieces each, 12 riddle documents. So these are riddle documents. Yeah. These are riddle documents. 2 strange items. Strange items. These are no, there's
They've already put it together because you were supposed to put it together too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Guess I should have done jigsaw puzzles before this.
Hmm?
Guess I should have done jigsaw
Oh,
puzzles
sorry.
before
This
this.
is high straight.
We have to reach the top of the
light, blah, blah, blah. There's riddles all over the place. You have to solve the riddles in their proper order as you walk through the various rooms of the lighthouse. You'll come across locked objects and doors. There's colored locks which can only be opened with a 3-digit code. This is the code. You should start doing those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like as long as you can listen as I read this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I've done this, I know how this code thing works, luckily. But basically, we will end up solving a puzzle, getting a 3-digit code, and then we see if we're correct or not.
What did you put in this box?
Yeah. I would recommend that. Is the code correct? Need help? Oh, guys, there's
Slide. Yeah, it's big.
no, there's solutions in the back of the book.
Oh, put it away. Unless there are solutions in the back of the book, apparently.
I see a page marked solutions in the back of the book.
Okay, do you want to just do that?
Sure.
Nobody's telling us not to. I asked, didn't I?
Instructions, clues for, but it might not be the final solution.
Well, let's get as far as we can.
So using the help screen, are you able to make progress
The
with
help
the riddle?
screen. Not the help screen. That means it's online or something, right?
It's not clear.
Oh. That doesn't sound like a solution.
Careful, some of the pieces will fit in other slots.
Okay. This here, yes. Okay. No. This and then
Somebody said words, right?
That goes together. That goes together. And that goes down. The white is hard, but now that I'm looking at it. I'm making some progress over here. Gray. There's something here. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay. See, I'm so used to setting up puzzles by like the edges first.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we don't need to assemble the whole puzzle, we just need these two pieces. We have this table of 1 through 9, and then we have the jellyfish, and then the captain's hat and the anchor. So I think we need to map the jellyfish here. So jellyfish is 7, captain's hat is 2, and the anchor is in position 6. So what we should enter is 7 to 6.
Under what?
And we found this red lock.
Another red lock?
Another red lock.
Okay.
It looks like one of these.
The pink one?
We don't know.
7 to
6.
Okay, we could try circle L triangle.
Circle L triangle.
That's not
wow.
circle L triangle.
Oh, that's moon. Okay, we failed. Try again. Can you really get me a moon L triangle?
What was it?
Start a new life. Somewhere far away, whether it's not so lonely and the weather's better. Mike looks at you with a pensive expression. You really did a great job. You got the light. You got to the light and repaired it. That's unbelievable. Obviously, someone is still needed here, and you are a team. Would you like to take the job? And do you? Think it over carefully. If you do, take the riddle document with the moon, circle, and square symbols. If you don't, congratulations. You can now look at the assessment table on page 7 of the rule book to see how well you did.
It's not comforting. There's a note stuck on one of the pipes. Here's what's written on it. I can't take it any longer. The solitude is driving me crazy. It keeps staring at the ocean. The light has to stay lit every night. Night after night. I can never go out. Ever. Even the sea is lonely here. I'm taking out for now. Sorry. M. M? This has to be the lighthouse keeper. Leave the lighthouse and abandon the ships to their fate. Agitated. You clamber up a few rungs to the ceiling hatch locked. You'll have to open the lock if you want to get to the top of the lighthouse. Something will be so you take the bag containing puzzle pieces with the stripes on the back. Can you get the puzzle with the stripes on the back? Assembled in your room. Well, maybe we don't need it. So we would have to do this puzzle. You search the room next to. You search them carefully and insert a gigantic machine. You find an odd loose piece of metal. You don't know what to make of it, but decide to insert it somewhere for safekeeping. So that's this odd shape. Is this? Can you grab that from wherever it is?
It's over here.
Take the odd piece of metal out of the box. A sudden beep from behind you makes you prick up your ears. You watch as an old monitor from the last century comes to life. Brimming with curiosity, you bend over its bluish lights. That's it.
Okay, so. Okay, wait. So assuming these are right in order, you know, so we got that one, 295, whatever that is, but I mean, so you'll need this, you'll need this. Okay, so here's the next one. Sequence is 093, and it goes with this one. See, this.
Okay, we succeeded in Opening up the lock on the locker. For several mighty tugs, the door opens, but inside all you find is a photo of a machine in the room along with some instructions. The instructions somehow seem connected to the machine.
Okay. The purple lines mark the height. Wow.
So that'd be this one.
That one?
Where did we put this?
It says part one. Great, you managed to unlock the lock on the chest. You open the lid, but your disappointment, all you find are a few pictures of consolation scratched into the floor, and then it says part 1 of 2.
But, I mean, do we need to even look at all these? I mean, is there a reason not to just go straight to the end?
Maybe that's the trick all along.
Okay, let's see. Okay, well, the last one, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, okay. Solutions. So how many have we looked at?
We looked at
We looked at just 2 or 3. We looked at 2 or 3. 1, 2, right? We looked at 2. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 12 of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only 8 solutions in here.
Which means I feel like we have to complete it.
Well,
or maybe not.
Wait a minute. Make sure I'm right.
Oh, that's not a long time for this.
Right.
Okay, look, here's the last one. The last one's this. Like half moons, cross half moon, that one.
Done. You open the locked glass cylinder and juggle the bulb like a madman. At first nothing happens, but then at the last second a beam of light shoots out. The ship will be able, so we got the light on. A little later, the ship lies safely at anchor. You receive Mike on the shore with pale face and guilty expression. He walks right up to you and says, "Listen, that was great. Thanks for that. I didn't want that to happen." A little late for that, but you decide to leave the sermon for later and see to it that everyone gets out of the cold. Soon after, as you all are sitting comfortably together in the lighthouse living room, petting the cat, Mike tells you that he wants to start a new life somewhere far away, where it's not so lonely and the weather is better. Mike looks at you with a pensive expression. "You did a really great job. You got to the light. You repaired it. That's unbelievable. Obviously, someone is still needed to be there. You're a great team. Would you like to take the job? And do you? Think it over. If you do, take the riddle document with the moon, circle, and square symbols. Circle, square. If you don't, congratulations. You can now look at the testament table on page 7 of the rule book to see how well you did."
You seal the deal with a handshake. Congratulations, you're now a genuine handshake. Look at it. Okay, one way or the other. Design your own group photo. So
We basically did it.
we're done,
Yeah.
right? If we, I mean, it's not cheating because we weren't told we couldn't do that.
True.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems there's no other way to do that in time.
I'm not sure either. But I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, when
So
we're
should we
talking
just go
about
tell the other rooms?
Yeah.
To look at the.
Yeah.
Well, so how do we show that we won though?
Maddie's got the evidence up right there. Whoops.
Do we need
I'm
a
sorry.
team-
The whoever.
Do we need a team photo? Isn't that part of Does it say take a photo? Wasn't that part of this thing?
Well, that was part of that thing. If we were sealing deal with a handshake, you have to get right on it. You know, stuff on the cards. You're now genuinely blah blah blah. So, to see how well you did.
Wait, what happened here?
It just came apart.
Okay. Calculate number of clues used. Anyway. At the end, you'll find the stick at the end felt and solution. The following stalwart players have successfully achieved the beacon and thereby saved the ship from sinking. Look, we've got our certificate. Okay, it's 20 minutes till.
How can it be that simple? Is my question.
Well, I mean, how can it not be that simple? Is the other question.
I mean, there's no way we're going to get 3 other puzzles done in time. Of course not.
No. So.
I don't think other teams will believe us when we're just go to the end, just skip it all.
Let's go tell them.
All right.
I mean, why not? Do you guys agree? I mean, if not, I don't want you to,
Well, we're not going to get that. Otherwise, I
don't
don't
think we're gonna
understand
get
how
time.
we've accomplished by just turning on the light, right?
Well, I mean, if that's the goal of what we're here, I mean, we got in, right? That's what this last one said, right?
Yeah.
Finally, you managed to open the red lock on the door. So and so, yeah. I mean, is that the last one?
No, I think I put it in the box.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's
Done.
Congrats, done.
You've opened the lock glass cylinder, you know. Okay.
And we didn't just follow the
The
rules.
only thing I can think of, like, other than doing that, is them saying, "Oh, well, you should have done everything and gave us a penalty."
Well, I don't think we're gonna penalty, but we just didn't do
Well,
it.
you know what it says? It says need help.
Well, yes.
Need help? The solution will tell you to approach the take and solving the riddle along with the correct code or the right symbol sequence.
Yeah,
And then
Let's
it's
go
that's
tell
and the
them
solution.
Let's go tell them to do that.
Let's go.
Sorry, you've not escaped.
The lighthouse.
Not
Told
escaped.
you.
Okay.
Oh yes, the arms and the figures. Search document. The arms and the figures. This, we add the arms. Veer off. Danger. Did we?
So it should look like a 5.
So veer off.
So first,
attention.
So put the arms on. So attention
I
is
see
first.
here. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So like this way.
Yep.
This way. Veer is straight. And then I'm just gonna cheat because I know this is 5, right?
Yes.
And what's the last word immediately? Is up.
Up and to the one to the left.
Okay.
Moon L plus.
Moon L plus. We did it. Amazing. So I keep.
Mine's done.
Nice.
Is this another one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, all right. That's got the circles on the back. This is going to be the little asterisks.
You want to solve the last riddle? I mean, I know we know the answer, but you want to go through it?
Sure.
I mean, I'm looking again here. The game ends when you have solved the last riddle. Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we didn't solve it. I mean, we got the answer, but solving the last riddle.
There's a lot of commotion.
Yeah. So.
Guys, so where are y'all?
What?
Did you get all the puzzles finished?
No.
Finish. You have to finish the puzzles.
See, I told you.
Okay.
Finish the puzzles, then go to the last page.
All right.
You got that.
So do you
I'll
want to
work
work
on a
on
different
one?
puzzle,
Yeah, one. You work on one puzzle. I'll work on one.
Okay. Where's the other one? Oh, wait, is it one? This is 2.
Let's get rid of these books.
team finished first, but you know, there's a little bit of some issues and stuff. I did not feel. See, I don't suss Matt at all. I just think he's not it. But to watch him try to do that puzzle, and then when Jesse went over there to help him, and they still hadn't get together, and then I had to go in and finish it. I was like, it made me pull Jesse up higher and someone I'm not going to be watching. I still don't think it's Matt. I think Matt is he's just an agent and he's struggling with that. And I could be totally wrong. But we did, and then when we went to try to help, and they were all like, we haven't done the puzzles yet, and we found out there was some issues, and then it was John came out and was like accusatory and said, well, we didn't cheat. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that actually upset me, because I was like, excuse me, we didn't cheat. He's like, yeah, you did. I was like, you didn't read the rules. I was like, no, the rules were what the projection told us, and that was open the box and escape the room. Those are the rules. What's in the box doesn't matter. And so when he told me he cheated, I didn't like it, and I felt it was kind of aggressive. And then it made me wonder, because why would he care that if we cheated, why would he care? Because it's money into the people pot.
Yeah, so in the second challenge, which was kind of the puzzle escape room challenge, I was with John and Missy, and it was decent in terms of how we worked together, I thought. John had a good grasp on how those kind of escape room in a box works, and I'm really good at jigsaw puzzles, so I kind of took the lead at that. Unfortunately, we tried to go by the book. When we learned that there was a shortcut, there was a little bit of a miscommunication, so I think had we known we could have taken the shortcut, we would have completed it. Unfortunately, we didn't, but fortunately, we got credit for it because of the miscommunication.
So the second challenge, I was with Jesse and Kim. We were up in the bathroom, and we were the only one that got out, I guess, successfully in that case. But yeah, for me, jigsaw puzzles are always difficult, and so I knew it was going to be a little tough for me. But fortunately, we were able to look at the back of the book and see the solution and everything, and try to work our way once we solved the puzzle to do that.
So I had Nick and Drew with me. We were not very good. So I'm very suspicious of Drew and Nick with this, because they were more focused on the directions of the box itself, telling us what to do, because in the end it said to escape, basically you can look at the end of the back of the book. Well, obviously it wasn't working out, didn't work out the first time. They continued to push it. It didn't work out the second time. And I'm sitting here just trying to build a puzzle, because I knew there was more to be done. We were not escaping. There was definitely more to be done, and they were more focused on the instructions than they were what we needed to get done. And then we found out that what I was doing was basically what we needed to get done, and we just didn't do it in time. So I definitely feel like there's a lot of suspicion with that one, and it's definitely going to stay on my list for now.
It was the puzzle. Oh, Lord. Okay, that was me and Corey and Wendy. And I was with Wendy again. So I was still watching her. And Lord have mercy, I am the worst at puzzles. So as soon as I walked in and saw that the challenge was a puzzle, I knew it was going to be bad. And Corey said he was bad at puzzles too. So that left Wendy, which she is phenomenal at puzzles. She can whip out a puzzle like nobody's business. So I was really thankful for her. However, I was still side-eyeing her. And I don't know how to do this puzzle escape. It's a puzzle escape type thing. But I was thankful for her, because even though we didn't complete and escape the room, she still put the puzzles together. But when we got out of that challenge, found out that she was saying while we were doing the challenges that she does this particular puzzle in this game all the time. Found out that the answers were actually at the end of the book. And so I was wondering, if she does this all the time, why did she not know the answers were back there? And if she whooped these puzzles out so quick, why didn't we whoop these puzzles out and her just knew the answers were in the back of the book, why we didn't complete this challenge? So that makes me even more suspicious of her at this point. So I'm still, watching her to see. I'm just suspicious of her at this point.
All right, so the second one, we had our breakout game. So how did that go? What were your thoughts on that?
That was awful. Yeah, I was with Nick and Billy on that, and that was really terrible. As a matter of fact, we think we figured it out. I mean, we have a bone to pick on that one because that was one where there was no possible way to do the jigsaw puzzles and do the game as it's designed to play. The game itself indicated that 100 minutes might be like a really great time to do it in, and we didn't have that much time. And so the book itself, the booklet itself tells you the solutions are in the book. If you need help, the instructions say if you need help, use the booklet. And so if the goal was to get out. And so if our goal was to get out, then all we had to do was go to the end. And we did that. But apparently because we hadn't done all the jigsaw puzzles, we didn't get credit for it, which, it seems to me like we got it and we got it first. But anyway, that wasn't what the powers that be decided.
Drew and Billy and we did that Escape the Lighthouse puzzle. It was a pretty difficult challenge. We didn't do very well. We definitely didn't, we tried to, we talked about if it was cheating or not. We just tried to go straight to the end because there was no rule that said you couldn't do that. We failed pretty miserably. I saw some behavior that I wasn't sure about. I was kind of suspect of, and honestly at the end when I kind of knew that we had no time left, or I'd say in the last 10 minutes, I started just to kind of stop, and I wanted to be realistic about our chances, whatever, but at the same time I wanted them to think that I just sort of was stopping entirely on purpose, just to be like, okay, we have no chance, look, I'm going to show you that, and like maybe add a little bit of frustration on making them think that like, why is he doing this? Why is he just stopping, almost to zero? So there was a little bit of strategy behind that, I guess.
Second mission was Great Escape. We had to break out of a room in under an hour. So there was a lot of different loopholes with this, and rooms had very different, I would say, ways of going about it. Ours, Wendy immediately took control of the, I would say, puzzle or brain teaser or the escape room, and she immediately read everything. I tried to pull out the puzzles. I tried to, get things going. She's like, don't pull anything out. We don't want to mix anything up, yada, yada. I was like, okay. So she read everything. That took up and ate some time, and then we finally got a puzzle going, and we all worked on this one puzzle for 20 minutes for some wacky reason, and it made no sense. So we all worked on that, and then I was finally like, okay, I'm gonna start working on the other puzzle because we're running out of time. Granted, I'm not good at puzzles. I do them for leisure, and these were easily an 80-piece puzzle that we each had to individually do. So ultimately, we didn't get it as a group, as a team. I would just say because we didn't have a good strategy going into it, and Wendy, who's done these before, I don't know why she didn't know that. She flaunted about knowing it. So it was a little suspicious there as well, but ultimately our team didn't make it, so we lost $6 for the pot there as well.
My teammates were Matt and Kim. We were the only team to solve the puzzle thing. Kim was definitely the best puzzler. She completed 2 puzzles by herself and helped us complete a third one. I completed 1 puzzle, and Matt, who he says he's colorblind, I guess I believe him. He had some trouble completing his puzzle, but in his defense, it probably was the most difficult looking one. We all helped finish that, and he did help with the solution part, so I don't want to look into that too seriously. Like everyone else, nobody else did it, which is sus. Like I wasn't in those rooms, so I don't know why, but I was surprised when we came down and all of the teams still hadn't built all 4 puzzles. So that was surprising to me. I'm sure, I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe because we finished all 4 puzzles and had to run through the book and we had 5 minutes left. So it's hard for me to believe, unless there was misunderstandings, that people couldn't complete 4 puzzles in an hour. Just the puzzle part, even without the other part. So I'm a little surprised.
2, the premise was a lighthouse themed escape room in a box, but the real challenge was not to do the escape room, but to complete 4 sets of puzzles. These puzzles were like 100-piece puzzles. We had to do 4 of them in an hour. If you did them one at a time, we found out we didn't have enough time to do them all. My team followed the rules by the book, so we did puzzles one at a time. We ran out of time, but then production convened. They said there was a little mix-up in communication. We should have done all 4 at once. So the escape room in a box, aka the puzzle challenge, we only got 2 of the possible 4 puzzles completed. I think miscommunications hurt us more, and lack of knowing how to approach the problem probably threw everyone in a loop. My team was me, Chad, and Missy. Chad is A+ puzzle solver. I think he's trolling people. I don't think he's the mole, but I think he's good at challenges. So I want to talk to him more. I think he has some good ideas and some strong leads on who the mole might be.
The second challenge, we divided into teams again. We drew colored chips out of a bag, and there were 3 people to a team. Each team was to complete an escape room puzzle in their room within an hour. I drew my chip, and I got a Joker, baby! So, that was really exciting. So, I mean, I have something for this time, I have something for next time. I'm, like, feeling pretty happy at the moment, and I can feel all the girlies getting really jealous. So, that sucked for them. I sucked at that puzzle. I sucked at that game. I was not going to pretend that I was, like, really trying or good at puzzles, because I'm not. Even with the solution book in front of me. I tried to read the solution book and it just wasn't happening. Chad was chatting with the... He did really well on that puzzle, but I was not going to be a huge contribution in considering that there was a miscommunication of some sort. We, did the best that we could. I think that was a good team, and I didn't really expect my team to finish. I didn't expect the yellow team to finish. Very happy that one team did actually finish. So that's good. I like it. It was great. It was great. I got another thing. Missy, Exemption, and Joker.
It was myself, Dawn, and Corey, and we took the rules very seriously, so we did not do as well as we should have until too late. It turns out Corey and Dawn were absolutely amazing, but not so much at puzzles. So I'm the one putting all the puzzles together and trying to figure out the answers. We didn't do very well, but we had fun, and things went okay. So.
Time I had a group real quick, and this time I'm not really working with anyone. I feel like I'm working with John, even though because we're clicking, and same with Corey, we're clicking on like the same level on certain things. But I haven't got to really be with them in groups, only in sitting and talking. So I mean those are the people I talk the most with, but I don't think we have an alliance or anything like that, or a coalition.
My main person that I'm working with right now is Drew, who also happens to be my bunkmate, if you will, and a alum of a LRG that we both played it, not in the same time, but I knew when he came into the house who he was from that. And so there was a little bit of that connection, I guess. And also one of my strategies usually when I play such games is try to align with the older players, and Drew is the oldest person in the game. And I just think, given his background as a judge, he's very trustworthy. So yeah, I'm working with Drew pretty closely at this point in time. If he happens to be the mole, I'm going to get, bamboozled, but yeah.
So far, I've been mostly hanging around the big groups in the either in the kitchen or in the main hallway or so that's there. So I haven't really gotten too many one-on-ones with people. Last night when we had our little Greek party, I hung out a little bit with Jesse, Wendy, and Billy, just for the heck of it. I know we're having a little fun, just trying to figure out what some of the messages meant there and everything. But yeah, nothing really too concrete there. And then before the second challenge, I was just meeting up one-on-one with John, just sort of getting a feel of like how we think we are sort of like doing in the game and just sort of like general thoughts. So yeah, I'd say for right now, I'm still kind of a lone wolf and just trying to figure out going on with that.
That's very hard because I haven't really had a chance to talk to almost everyone one-on-one. I think I connect well with John. I trust John a little bit. Wendy, I kind of trust, but there's still kind of some out there-ness with her. I feel like I can trust Kim. I have no reason of not trusting her right now. She hasn't done anything that I feel like I can't trust her with. Apart from that, everybody else I haven't really connected with a lot.
I talk to everybody. I have been hearing that people are throwing my name around, that they're suspicious of me, because I have, I don't know, they're just suspicious of me. I have these little sheets that I came in with that are in my little dossier notebook, which that's fine. They can be suspicious of me.
I'm working with Chad, and I think he and I are comparing notes a good bit, talking about our thoughts, frankly, trying to throw each other under the bus a little bit. And I don't think he's the mole. I mean, if he is, he's playing me really well. But I'm not really working with anyone else besides him at this point. I mean, I certainly have got some kind of semi-alliances with a few other people, but basically that's who I've been talking to, mostly trying not to do so publicly for sure.
Yeah, so I really, I think I'm connected with Corey a lot. I feel like he's really, really nice. He's fun to talk to. I feel like we're more buddies than, alliance members. But at the same time, you know what, that being said, I have talked to him probably more about the game than anyone else. But that also goes into with the fact that I haven't really talked that much game with anyone yet because we're all still getting to know each other. These are 11 strangers, and I feel like at this point we're still just getting to know them as people versus suspects and characters. So who I'm clicking with the most, I would say, is Corey, John, my bunkmate. I really am enjoying Dawn's energy. We don't talk much, but we definitely have a vibe going, and she's just really cool. And Missy is amazing. I feel like we've already kind of surpassed the superficial, phase, and I can just almost shoot the shit with her.
Immediately coming into the house yesterday, it was just me, Jesse, and Wendy, and I was just like, hey, we're all in different rooms. Let's talk and kind of share information because we're not going to know what's going on in the other rooms. That was initial, and then as the day goes on, Jesse does a lot of interesting things where he'll want to say something. He'll be like, well, I can't say that. And it's really interesting. I'm like, well, no, now you got to finish your sentence. Come on. And I always tease him about it now. I'm like, you have to finish your thought if you're going to say something. So he's a little suspicious because he's playing really close. His card's close to his chest. And I'm just like, I can't work with you if you're not going to give me any information. And it's an open partnership. Wendy, I've been able to bond with really well. But again, she's playing so naive and so aloof. Is it that obvious? A lot of people are like, it can't be Wendy. It can't be Wendy. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's what production wants. She is an actress. She is on stage. It'd be a perfect fit for her to do this. So I don't know. It's a lot. I don't think I can work with those two initially. But then when we got into the room, I was able to talk to John and Nick. And I think I have a good partnership with them. I was like, as the day has gone on, I've talked and been able to communicate with John. So I really feel comfortable with John and Nick. And I really don't think they are the mole, but I can never rule anyone out as well. So I think they're good of my coalition. And again, I'm really just trying to play this socially. I'm trying to make sure I talk to everyone. And I've been telling people, when somebody throws out a name, I'm like, well, they said you're the mole. And I'm just trying to make sure that, suspicion is just everywhere so that people are aloof and don't understand what's going on?
So right now it's really tough because there's so many people. I don't really fully trust anybody. I feel like I've talked some game with Chad, and we had like a little thing yesterday where we went down into the basement. There was like a toga party, and there was decorations, and they looked intentional where they were. Could have been absolutely nothing. And we talked about moving them around, and then he said he moved them around, and then we talked. Then it was a big thing trying to figure out who moved these decorations where they've been, and we just kind of stayed quiet about that. So like we've been like kind of gaming slightly. Again, I don't know if I can trust him. I haven't really told him suspicions or anything like that. And then like I feel like Nick is also my age. He's from Pittsburgh, where I'm from. I felt like we bonded over just the commonality of that. So I would be interested in working with him, but I haven't like overtly given him like, oh, I want to work with you. Because it's too hard. There's too many people. There's people around everywhere. Also, I mean, I don't know. He could be the mole. So it's, yeah. I have like people I'm leaning on. We had a big conversation yesterday. It was me, Matt, Wendy, and Billy, and we talked for a while about different things. But again, it's so early. We don't know what the quizzes are going to be like. I have no idea who to trust. So it's just been very light.
Yeah, so I noticed a couple coalitions are starting to form. I'm trying to go around, talk to everyone. Like I'm trying to crack some jokes, get people, friendly around me so I can talk to them. I haven't talked one-on-one with everyone yet, but I would say on day one, I met like Corey, Nick, and Dawn right away. I think I'm in good with them. We don't have like a 4-person coalition, but I would say my bedroom is 5 guys. Last night, 4 of us had a little talk about who we suspect. It's really easy when you're in a group to always suspect someone outside of the group. My intuition is telling me it's not Matt. It's not, I'm forgetting people's names. You can edit that out. So I don't think it's Matt. I think it's probably someone older. I'm not certain if it's someone with more experience or not. So my approach throughout these quizzes is going to be to do a scatter shot and play the numbers. I'm not going to narrow in, but I'm trying to get in. There's 3 women, 9 guys. I'm trying to get in with a mix of people, slowly start revealing little facts. Like I dropped a little hint that Matt overlooked a clue to some people to see how they reacted. They're like, oh, that's real interesting. I'm not going all in with any one group yet, but I think there's 3 people who work in tech. I think outside of mole discussion, I have easy conversations with them. So I'm going to try to build on some of these other social aspects to play the game.
First and foremost, I am working with Dawn. And when we were going around and introducing ourselves, I would have never thought that I would be attracted to her as a person to work with. But as soon as I noticed how scrupulously she takes notes, she rewrites them, she says she has a bad... I really think that she's a good person to work with, and if she's the mole, then that's really good for me too. That's whatever, it's fine. I'm not completely unsuspect of her, but I'm happy to have her in my corner. We stayed up until about 4 last night, talking and sharing like information, because there was a lot that happened on the first night. And yeah, so we're clicked up, and I also really like Nick, my other suspect. Really cool guy. Hasn't shared too much information with me, but I've gotten... Wendy is sharing everything with everybody, so I'm not concerned about that. Everybody's working with Wendy, and Wendy is working with everybody, a true team player. And any other like specific ones, I'm working on it. I want to see where Corey's at, because I feel like we're kind of like on a similar level in terms of our thinking. Jesse has also given me many knowing glances as to what I think is sharing similar thoughts, but we have to talk. We haven't really gotten a one-on-one chance yet.
I don't have a coalition. I mean, I feel like I gel okay with pretty much everyone here. There are a few people that are kind of, I feel like, taking me under their wing to like answer questions about, you know, the reality games and stuff. And since I came in knowing absolutely nothing, we have all made fun of me at least 3 times, myself included, for going down rabbit holes because I'm suspecting everything is something. I like there's several people that have, like I said, taken me under their wing, and we've just kind of, I don't think anyone's kind of been working against, I mean, obviously the mole is working against us, but I don't think anyone like is obviously working against me at this point. I don't think.
John, he was just so upset about how we played. I was like, but why? We got the money. And then, you know, but then I have to go, okay, I'm hyper competitive too, so maybe it'd be like, well, we could have gotten out if we'd done it that way. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda is what I always think, you know. You have to think outside the box here. And so, but it did pull him up, and now I want to talk to him more because now that Chad just seems a little too laid back for me, and that's why. And I know it's because he's got an exemption, so maybe he's that. But at the same time, he was very evasive. He doesn't give a lot of information out. He doesn't give his questions. He doesn't talk like in the groups. He will come in and get stuff, but leave. He doesn't like contribute. So that's why he's there. I don't think it's Missy. I think she's too hyped up and too easily distracted. And like I said, I don't think it's Matt. So that's where I am on those. I don't know about the rest yet. And I don't think it's Dawn. I mean, why I don't think it's Dawn? Because she's got all those weird pages and having everything in order. Why would you do that? Why would you go through all that? I know people are like, oh, we'll just make you look like you're not the mole. No, because she's she's redone them over and over because she's so OCD about it.
This game is a game of incomplete information, not unlike a game of poker, right? The only thing I knew for sure coming into the house was that I am not the mole, right? That's the only thing I know 100% certain. But knowing that, if I can leverage it by making other people think I am and drawing the heat, that's what I want, right? I want them to get the wrong answer. So I've lied about what I do. You know, I haven't told them anything about poker. I think they're going to piece it together because it, you know, in the picture downstairs, it has my Poker News patch. And I'm actually counting on that. I want them to kind of figure that out because I want them to think that I'm the mole. And you know, they'll get low scores on the quizzes if they do. And hopefully I'm on the right track and get good scores. So one of my goals coming into the game was to quickly establish a baseline on how people act. And I had a list of basically red flags. If somebody's checking these off, they're more likely to be the mole. If they're not doing that, I kind of discounted it. And I've actually discounted a few people based upon their behavior, but there's one who's really stuck out to me and is checking a lot of those boxes of the red flags, and that's Corey. And, you know, he didn't complete the second challenge. In the first challenge, you know, he was the runner and he had to stick with the group. So that first challenge would have been hard for a mole to sabotage. But I just, you know, there's something about him that leads me to believe. I mean, that's my number one suspect. Says he works in IT, but, you know, he's in really good shape. He's built. He carries himself like a cop or something to me. That's just the impression that I get. And so until proven otherwise, you know, that's kind of my leading suspect. I'm not closing the door on everybody else. There's certainly some others, but he's my leading suspect right now. And it helps to have, you know, the exemption to get through this first round.
So it's hard for me right now to pick like one person who's the mole. I think my strategy right now is just ruling out people who I don't think is the mole. Mm-hmm. So I think right now I'm ruling out Chad because he seems to have gotten a lot of praise from doing the puzzles. When we first met each other, he seemed a little bit more reserved and was just like, it felt like he was holding his cards close to his chest and wasn't really giving that much. And part of me was just thinking he was just trying hard to act like the mole, but really wasn't. So he's kind of the only person that I've really crossed off right now, and then everybody else is still.
I really think that it's either Drew, Chad, Nick, or Wendy, which is funny because I kind of trust her a little bit, but I also don't trust her in that aspect. Those are my top 4 suspects right now. So going forward, I'm definitely looking at them a lot more than I was before.
But I'm hearing people throwing Drew's name around and some throwing Kim's name around. I don't know that people are too suspicious of Wendy, but then I hear some people are starting to talk about her. But I'm not really working with anybody, but I'm talking to everybody. I've had Chad come up to me, you know, trying to talk to me, and then some people are suspicious. I think everybody's suspicious of everybody at this point. There's no one-centered target. But I don't know. I'm just suspicious of 2 or 3 people, but right now I'm really suspicious of Wendy.
Well, in the Jigsaw Puzzle Challenge, the escape room challenge, whatever we called it, there were jigsaw puzzle pieces on the floor, which made Billy look really suspicious for a while, and Nick and I talked about that. In the first game, the Michigan race, the fact that the second team, the team that we were relaying the riddles to, didn't seem to be very responsive, made us wonder if there wasn't someone playing with the walkie-talkie. Now, having said that, Chad had the walkie-talkie a good bit of the time, so I mean that kind of contradicts what I said a few minutes ago, but I still wonder about that. A couple other people that I wonder about Matt, I wonder about Corey, Jesse, and I do wonder about Billy. And it's not anything more than what I said about Billy. As far as the others are concerned, it's just kind of observing things, like observing who went to bed early. Because I mean, that to me kind of is mole behavior, you know, kind of getting away from the crowd. People who talk about Chad, and I've been egging this on a little bit, suspect him because he seems to be seeking a lot of information but not giving a lot of information. And I mean, I think that's his shtick. And I mean, again, if I'm right and he's not the mole, good for me that people think he's the mole.
Yeah, so in the same hand, I really have an eye on Missy. Their behavior is just so interesting. It's so nonchalant and blasé, and like not even being interested in doing some of the group, like, you know, sharing of information. And I think it's honestly more about like, oh, I just don't want to do that because it's boring or something, versus I don't need to do that. But there is definitely some other behavior that's pretty suspicious. And I think that they're, you know, they're a performer, they're theatrical, I feel like they know how to entertain, and part of this game is being on your toes and wondering and double crossing and then second guessing. And I feel like an entertainer really knows how to do that and perform to get that reaction out of people. So Missy is for sure on my radar. I'm also, just over the last 18 hours, just watching the behavior of Jesse and Chad and Drew. Those 3 guys are they're all very different. They're on my radar because of some of their complete, you know, they're not silent, but they're definitely very, very quiet. And I feel like they're just observing. And that's fine as a player, but as a mole, I think they're just getting as much info as possible to see how we work in order to use that against us later, or you know, mess with how we think. I'll watch everyone whenever they announce, you know, the mole has, you know, contributed this amount of money to their pot. Like, I will watch everyone. Everyone's watching the host. I'm watching everyone's eyes. And just a few of the, like, subtle signs of body language, you know, shifting, even just things that I'm really trying to pick up on that the mole would react to, maybe even subconsciously, makes me think that either, you know, Drew, Jesse, or Chad. Just, I don't know, my spidey senses are going off on them too.
Suspects right now, really, it would be Chad, Wendy, not so much Wendy, but I would say Chad, Wendy, Drew, I think is my number one suspect. And then also Dawn. I mean, she said she doesn't play the mole game. She doesn't really do these, but she came with a full dossier blank template to be able to fill out for each player. She's playing like how she doesn't know or remembers things well. So I don't know. They're very suspect, and a lot of people are doing small things to throw each other off. For instance, Matt, when we were looking for the containers in Mission 1, passed right by one, and this is what John told me. He passed right by one, and then John was like, well, you missed a container right here. So, small things, but Drew is definitely at the top of the list, and he's making a lot of people uncomfortable.
Initially, the person who I think is acting the most shady is Wendy. I don't believe her. She acts like... I could be completely wrong, but she either doesn't know anything about reality television, the mole, the way the game is played, or she's pretending. If she's pretending, I think she might just be trying to look like the mole, and she's not actually the mole, which is something that the coach helped me kind of like decide. Some of the things Kim is saying, I don't think she's really done much sabotaging yet, but some of the things she's saying is suspicious to me. Drew acts a little suspicious to me. I would say those are probably my top 3 suspects right now. Missy is like kind of in there. Yeah, I would say that's definitely my top 4-ish, but I'm really unsure. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I've noticed some curiosities. I think day one is still strong for outright sabotage by the mole. So Matt's been on my team twice so far. He's been missing some things. I think I'm coming out of the gate just guns blazing. I'm trying to solve clues, get money in the pot. I think my strategy tomorrow might be to cast more suspicion on myself by making more mistakes. The painting puzzle that came up, I'll talk about that next time. Mole suspects right now. Kim was at the top of my list. Kim's played one version of the mole before. She's very, very chatty in the morning. I want to see if that was just this morning or if she's always chatty every morning. I'm going to start paying attention to who's changing their behavior and see if I can catch that behavior change as a indicative of like the mole at work. I would say Wendy is playing a very interesting game. She claims she's never seen Survivor, Big Brother, any of these shows. I don't believe that. Is she outright lying? I don't know. Drew is also an interesting character. Drew's had a few slip-ups that I don't know if he's trying to throw me onto his trail as a normal player or he's the mole subtly working his magic. So I have a couple threads to pull on, but I'm not making any firm decisions right now.
Based on the icebreaker activity last night, we were all assigned an envelope with a number on it, with a question inside it. And some people got advantages, some people got like other stuff. We don't know where the Joker went, Matt or Kim, but they're trying to fake. And I am very much suspecting people who have been dishonest about their questions or really withholding. Drew, Nick, those are like my top 2. And then maybe just like if I'm being played, Dawn could be throwing me off a lot.
I don't know if it's just because I like to see the good in everyone or if it's just like, I have maybe like a few suspicious like thoughts about different people, but like nothing concrete. So like, I don't know. There we go.
It was a meeting with someone who's played in a couple mole games. Her name is Carrie. It was very helpful to hear some ideas, bounce kind of some of my theories off of her and get her input. We talked for a half an hour. I felt like it was very useful because I really have been itching to kind of talk with somebody, and I don't really feel that like secure giving the guys out there my like feelings. So it was nice to have like an unbiased third party who was looking to help me give me information. So it was really helpful and nice to kind of bounce some ideas and hear some input. So I know what Survivor or Big Brother were like. I feel like it's a lie. I feel like they're lying. But my thing is, I think they're like, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to like, you know what I mean? That seems like a thing. Maybe they came into this, I'm going to pretend I don't know anything about reality television or the mole or anything. You know what I mean? And then it's like, that might be a player move, right?
Yeah, it's just wild to me that someone would decide to play something like this and not do just a little bit of homework. But
Yeah.
I did play with someone who the only thing he read was like the first paragraph on Wikipedia and came and played and won.
Okay.
So
It's not impossible.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes like the super fans come in and they have too much of a strategy and
Right.
it kind of